welcome back to Less Lethal Contingencies. Alan here. So today we're going to be doing a little competition amongst ammunitions. We're going to be trying out, or I shouldn't say trying out, because we already tried this ammo. Both of these we tried. We're going to be shooting the Sumo XL again, which is brought to you by Less Lethal Ballistics. This is a 680 ammunition. Okay, it was advertised as 680. I don't know if the batch I got was small, running small, but when I measured it, I got 680, so it is a little smaller than I was hoping it to be. It was supposed to be 6.84. It drops right through my 681 ball gauge, and when I put my calipers on it, indeed it was measuring 680. Okay, but it is very heavy. Okay, it weighs in consistently at 11 grams. Okay, so it's a small ammunition, but it packs a wallop. It's heavy. I did have two of these collide in my target trap the first time I shot it. I was shooting this ammunition and one of them busted open, so I was able to see what's inside and what makes them heavy, because they were not magnetic, and I figured that out rather quickly. It's got a very thick plastic, ABS plastic coating. However, the inside is lead. Okay, so it's non-metallic, non-magnetic is the word I was looking for. Okay, it's made of plastic encapsulated around lead. Okay, so that's why it's so heavy at 11 grams. All right, so we're going to be shooting one magazine of 6 of these 11 gram 6.680 ammunition by Less Lethal Ballistics. And we're going to be putting that up against this other new ammunition that I just got. Thank you, Barry. That I got in a care package from one of my subs. And it came along with those heavy ball bearings, those 21.5 gram ball bearings I was shooting the other day. And this is, I believe they call it jawbreakers or something like that, but it's basically a glass marble. These are 680. They measure out perfectly as 680, and they're weighing in at 6.8 grams. We're going to call them 7 grams, okay? I only have 6 of these. The first time I shot them, they seem to have held up okay. I got a little nick on one of them, but there's no crack when you hold them up to the light. There's no crack going through any of them, so just one's got a little tiny nick going through it. It's kind of, but it looks like it should be all right. I inspected all 6 of them, and this is the only one that looked a little abused. So again, these things take most of their abuse if they come in contact with each other in the target trap. So we'll see how they hold up. That was shooting them on my Pistelli X68 yesterday. Now I'll be shooting them out of a longer barrel, a little more powerful setup. So who knows, I may end up breaking one of these today. We'll see. But I got 6 of these. We're going to compare these because they performed so well. I mean, I was so surprised and downright impressed how well these glass jawbreakers performed. That I figured let's compare them to 11 gram. Let's see if they fly better than 11 gram does. We'll see what we get for feet per second. Clearly feet per second is probably going to be higher since they're lighter, but we'll see what we get for power numbers, see what they come out. These, again, if you haven't seen my video on these that I aired yesterday, on these glass marbles, I think it was called glass marbles in the title. Impressive. I think I was getting, my second shot on these was, and that was just 700 psi. Of course, it was through the same large chamber that I have on the IntruBuster Gen 2 right now. You know, it had a large ASA, and it had but it was only a shorter barrel. I mean, it had the benefit of the Reaper suppressor, which we'll be using that again on the IntruBuster Gen 2 for this test. But yeah, I was impressed. It was like almost 94 joules out of these 7 grams. So these things are like, they go. Again, I don't know. I was just so impressed by it. Anyways, so what I'm going to do is I have 2 bottles. I have an 8 CI and a 7 CI. both regulated between 700 and 750 psi high pressure air. So I got 2 of these bottles pumped up. They're both pumped up to 3,000 capacity. Okay, this one's actually the 8CI. I'll use the 8CI for the heavier ammunition, and I'll use a slightly smaller 7CI that I have over here. Again, pumped up to 3,000 capacity. I'll use this with the glass marbles. Okay, so should be an apples to apples competition as far as what, you know, our air source is concerned. Of course, the marker itself, we're gonna be using the Gen 2, the IntruBuster Gen 2, what I'm calling my Terminator Carbine Build, okay, which has the 12-inch 6.86 barrel, finished off with the 6-inch long Reaper suppressor. Does not suppress noise, but it does help out with feet per second. Does give a, on average, I've been getting between 10 and 12 joule increase by running this Reaper suppressor. Okay, so that's what we'll be doing today, and we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. See what we get for numbers. So let's get to it. All right. Oh, and I'm going to be using a standalone MCS slide check on and off right here. Okay. We'll be using that since these don't have the slide checks built in. So let me go ahead and we'll screw in the 8CI bottle. And we'll air it up and check for leaks. And hopefully we don't have any leaks. All right, how we feel here? All right, these shorter tanks work out better, a little more comfortable because of the long ASA that I'm running and the fact that I have to run a separate on and off as well with these tanks, but they're still probably coming in shorter, so that should be pretty comfortable right there. It's unloaded. I'm going to go ahead and air it up and see if it leaks. Here we go. All right, at first I had a slight little leak, but it seemed to clear itself up. It was a small enough leak where I normally would just shoot through it anyways. We just move this along quicker, okay? Which I know some of you guys are probably saying, yeah, move it along quicker. You want to get to the shooting. I understand. All right, so we're good there. Like I said, we're going to start off with the heavy ammunition, the Sumo, which is the 680 Sumo XL, 11 grams. So we're going to start off shooting that. And until my new cronny comes in, we're going to use our trusty old X radar. We'll be using that. Turn our laser on. All right, magazine of 6 of the Sumo XLs. There we go. All right. All right. Let me get a little closer so I can show you the feet per second as I'm shooting here. All right, this thing's almost too long to do this, but we can do it. All right, Sumo XL, 11 gram ammo, 700 PSI HPA. Shot 1. 440 feet per second. Shot 2. 430 feet per second. Shot 3. 418 feet per second. Shot 4. 420 feet per second. Shot 5. 422 feet per second. And it should be the last one, shot 6. Shot 6. Actually, all right, nothing came out for shot 6. I thought I may have saw a round roll out of the barrel. I've been having that happen with this smaller ammo lately. And I think that's what happened, because I'm pretty sure I only pulled the trigger 6 times and only had 5 rounds come out under 4. So I think that's what happened there. So, but I mean, we got 5, 5 to use for data, so shouldn't be an issue anyways. All right, let me degas, or de-air I should say. All right. We got our tank off. All right, so we started at 3,000 capacity for PSI. Again, this is just a small tank, 8 CI tank. We're down to, looks to be 1,000. So we use 2,000 PSI. We use most of this bottle, so for 6 rounds. It's a small bottle. I'll pump that back up later. We get our other 7 CI tank, 700 PSI output. Again, that one's at capacity as well, 3,000 PSI capacity. So we'll run that one in. We'll air it up. We'll take our full magazine of our clear glass marbles, or what they call in jawbreakers, I believe. All right. And we'll see what we get for feet per second on these 7-gram glass marbles, and we'll compare it. We'll see what we get between the heavy 11 grams and the 7 grama jammers, right? However they say that. All right, feels good. Yeah, I don't know what's been going on other than I think I noticed that I don't have that problem with the X68, the Pistelli. But on this one, on the IntruBuster Gen 2, I noticed, for one thing, the detents, to get to them, you have to take the clamshell out. So unfortunately, it's not as convenient as it is on the Pistelli X68, where externally you can undo and you can remove your detents. Of course, the Pistelli's using like a nylon detent. I already replaced the set in mine. But with these, they're harder to get to, but thankfully they didn't use nylon. They used little steel ball bearings. So in theory, I wouldn't think you'd have to change them, but the factory barrel being a 689, I mean, they made it, they designed the gun to shoot a variety of sizes of ammunition, but I'm thinking when you start shooting stuff around the 680, I think, it's under the right conditions, they're slipping by. I mean, I certainly had this happen a couple times only on this marker, and it was always with smaller ammo, if I remember correctly. But it just happened again. I had a round roll out of the barrel in between shots. So I don't know what else could be causing that. Maybe it's just a perfect storm thing. It doesn't happen every time I shoot the gun, but I have to pay attention to what size ammo I'm using, because it could be that the 680 ammo is just marginally small enough where it can slip through, especially if there's any momentum of air still going on in there. So anyways, let's air it up, the second tank here of 700 PSI, and then we'll shoot off these glass marbles, these 7-gram jaw breakers. I think that's what they're calling them, is jaw breakers. Let's see. Okay, this time no little hiss at all, so it sounds better. I am running a, for my 011, I had to reinstall the urethane O-ring that I have, which I know is a little big. I've had it fly out of the barrel a few times, but I had to reinstall that because when I installed the 7.5, the thicker O-ring, which does fit snugly, but when I installed it, I had a problem with it leaking. So I had to, it was too bad of a leak for me to shoot through it. So don't know why it was leaking. I would have thought it shouldn't because it was a snugger feel, a snugger when you put it into the valve, but it freaking leaked. And then I put my urethane back on and it's all right. So I don't know. This O-ring business is becoming kind of more of a dark science than anything else to try to figure out exactly, right? One day it works, one day it doesn't, and you think you nail down a problem and you think you got to figure it out, and then all of a sudden it's like, you still have a problem. So anyways, we're aired up right now, leak free, so we'll go with that. We're going to shoot 6 rounds of these glass marbles, jaw breakers. I think that's supposed to be the sexy name for them. Again, thank you, Barry, for sending these along with the steel, the heavy steel ball bearings. Been having fun with those things, and now we're having fun with these. I mean, these things fly. I mean, it's crazy how they must just be, I don't know if they're just like a slicker, that glasses just slides through the barrel faster, or what the science is behind that, but they fly. You'll see, they fly. All right. So we got 6 of those. We're aired up. Turn the laser on. We'll see how these compare. All right, we'll do the same thing. I'll show you the feet per second as I shoot. All right, 7-gram glass marbles, 700 PSI, HPA, shot 1, 560 feet per second, shot 2, 560 feet per second, shot 3, 558 feet per second, shot 4, 552 feet per second, shot 5, 556 feet per second. Should be the last one. I don't know if one rolled out. I don't think so. Shot 6. Hopefully it didn't roll out. These are small too, so it should be shot 6. 556 feet per second. All right, so we didn't have any roll out that time. That's good. That is good. Don't bang my barrel, Alan. Yeah, I'm glad it didn't roll out. We'll have to see how those things held up, because this time we're shooting much more power than we were out of the Pistelli yesterday. So that should have been all 6. Yes, indeedy. It's all 6. All right. It's the air. Yeah. All right. And let's unscrew this animal. And we'll just see how much we had left out of this 7 CI tank after shooting those. But I mean, those were cranking what, like 560 feet per second, 7-grammers. Yeah, so about the same. I mean, this is only 1 CI smaller tank than we just got done using on the heavy 11-gram ammo. So in this one, yeah, it's about 1,000 PSI left. So I don't know, like I'm thinking, how many shots would I have gotten out of one of these? Maybe 2 mags. either ammunition, I guess you could safely say. I think probably 2 mags, pretty close to it. If you had an extended mag with 8 or 9 shots, I think it's safe to say one of these little tanks would probably do you. You'd probably be fine. I do want to check the ammunition. Here's one of them over here that bounced out of the trap. I do want to check this really quick for you guys to see. Hold it up to the light, see if I see any cracks going through it, since we're dealing with glass. Don't see any cracks. Don't see any chipping going on. Yeah, I mean, it looks good to me, right? So there's one. There's one. Here's our Sumo. Here's another Sumo. A couple more glass, a couple more Sumo. I think I got them all in there. Wow. Starting to finally start to put a hole in that archery material. A little bit, anyways. All right, what do I have here? I'm missing one of my Sumos. Must have rolled somewhere else. Worry about that later. I think I got all the glass ones. All right, that Sumo looks good. Don't see nothing wrong with that one. Just want to make sure, see how they fared. These were in the bottom of the trap first. So I get a lot of this, like what I call road rash, right? Just from it hitting the material so hard, it leaves these little not indentations, but like these little marks, what I call road rash. All right, nothing's cracked on these. Like I said, these here, when I did get one cracked, it's because I do believe two smashed into each other. Now I know I was shooting on some pretty high power out of this gun because we got the 12-inch barrel with the Reaper suppressor on here. So my guess is we're shooting somewhere in the neighborhood of 120. I would think somewhere 115, 120 for joules. Maybe a little more because we got that long ASA on the back. Yeah, they're all holding. You know, I'm missing one to look at. It's probably rolled around under something over here. But yeah, these Sumos held up fine. None of them cracked against each other. I checked out one of the glass marbles already. It looked good. This one here is the one that it's always debris or some crap or paint or chips or something in my target trap. So I always end up having junk on these things. Yeah, so again, no cracks going through it. It looks like it'd be safe to reuse this. This is the one that I identified out of the 6 that I had that had this weird little, I don't know if you can make it out on the camera or not, if it focuses, probably not, but it just had this slight little, you could feel it with your fingernail in there. Now, I don't know if it came this way or if this happened the first time I shot it, but it doesn't look like it's in any kind of position to weaken or crack or anything. So I think this is safe to reshoot. So that's twice now I'm shot them, so not too bad. Which I hope they last a while because I got a sneaking suspicion that they're probably not super cheap. Because I've been trying to find marbles online and not too many people have them at a 68. 680. They're usually like 6'3". There seems to be a lot of them out there that are 6'3", but that's way too small for me to shoot. 680 is as small as I'd feel comfortable putting in these guns, especially when I'm already, you know, having rounds roll out on me. So this one here, see no cracks through it. That one looks good. There's just some little, I don't know, some junk from inside that trap. All right. Oh, well, maybe that's new. That other one that had that little thing on it, because here's, whoa, slippery. Here's another one. It's not cracked through anywhere that I can see, but yeah, here's another one that has a little Little tiny crease in it right there. But again, looks safe. I mean, will that eventually develop into a full crack? Yeah, if two of these smack together, probably. But just hitting that archery material, probably not. I mean, right now I'm shooting the most power I got, unless I put another 7.5-inch extension on, then I'd probably get some more power. Oh, that's not true. I'm only shooting at 700 PSI. What am I talking about? I forget. I still can shoot at 1,000. I can shoot at 1,100. You know, so I could definitely run this with more power. That's right. I keep forgetting. We're doing 700. This is a 700 PSI test. So we get something, you know, this is a low pressure test. We're going at low pressure, even though it's still high pressure. All right. Well, anyways, I think I can shoot those four again. Let me look at this fifth one. I'm just looking for cracks that are coming into the actual glass, because I don't want to be shooting anything that looks like it's going to grenade in my gun, or even in the target trap if I can avoid it. I'm not going to shoot that. So, all right, this one seems to be okay. And number 6, since I only have 6 of these right now, although I may be getting some more pretty soon. Yeah, so another one's got this little, like, kind of little ding in it. Again, I couldn't really say for sure. I don't believe it was on here when I got them. So, but no cracks going through it, not even starting to go through it. So, yeah, I think all 6 of these are fine. So, there's that. Yeah, I'll update the video with the power numbers, the joules. But yeah, 560-ish feet per second, 7-gram jaw breakers. Or is that what they are? Glass breakers, jaw breakers? I keep forgetting the name. Yeah, we'll see how they stack up against the 11-gram Sumo XL. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you're having a great weekend. Peace out. More to come.